Everyone, welcome back to Blue Hope on Commonwealth Day on top of the edX Pixel Virtual Expo platform. Today, so far, I think we've had a fantastic panelists and also very insightful discussion that has been discussed with regards to the oceans. Here with this session, we do have the launch of Water is Life for the Sabah School. And without any further ado, let me introduce you to the moderator himself, none other than Paul Rose, an explorer, broadcaster, expedition leader for National Geographic, Pristine Seas, and also the vice president of the Royal Geographic Society from 1999 to 2002, and of course, a Blue Hope ambassador. Here with Paul, without any further ado, over to you.
Thank you, Nora. Thanks very much. And hello, everybody. Thanks very much for joining us here at Blue Hope on Commonwealth Day. Water is life. And if there's one thing I know about young ones is their desire and need to see action. And if we speak to young people, we know if we say water is life, some will think about the ocean because of their experiences with the sea. Some will think about drinking water. Some will look at plastic and waste that occurs. But they'll all have an opinion on it. And of course, they want to see action. Young people are driving us for solutions and for finding action and solutions. Now, the Simon Christopher's team, Blue Hope, and all of us will put together this project called, Blue Hope Water is Life. And it's a brilliant idea. Why not pilot it in 100 schools in Sabah with the aim of providing safe, clean drinking water for all children and teachers, all schools in Sabah. It's a terrific project, rethinking plastic. And I can't go to any school anywhere in the world without seeing an amazing level of awareness with plastic. So to help us get through this, it's a big panel. We haven't got very long. We've got an extraordinary selection of panelists and experts. I'd like each panelist, if they could, to introduce yourselves just very quickly so that the audience can see who you are and who's joining us today. And then we'll go back around and ask you to make your presentation. So if that's acceptable to everybody, could I ask the panelists to please introduce themselves and say who you are. Now, I'm not quite sure which order to do it in, Simon.
Let's start with keep the order that I said earlier. So let's start. Can we start with Fazi from Sabah Education Department, please? And then
right. Thank you, Fazi.
David.
Hi everyone, my name is Farzi Ahmad. I'm representing Datuk Dr. Mistirine Radin, the Director for Sabah State Education Department. Thank you so much for having me here. Not technically me, but I'm privileged to be here with you guys today. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Farzi, thank you very much. And who's next?
Okay, next to France, we go to the solution to David.
Hello from France. I'm David Monnier. I'm a CEO of Fonto de Vivo, and I'm a former humanitarian worker, and we design water solutions for emergency at the beginning and now for schools in Sabah.
Excellent. Welcome, David. Thank you very much. And next up, please.
Let's go to Joe, please.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to be on this call as well. I'm the producer of the documentary A Plastic Ocean. I'm also founder of Plastic Oceans UK, which has recently rebranded to become Ocean Generation.
Thank you. Next up.
If we could go to Maya, who's done the Malaysian version. Great. This is International Women's Day, so big up for the girly power, everyone. Fantastic to have you all here, because we can't do it without you. Over to you, Maya. Sorry, you're on mute.
You're on mute.
Sorry.
Yes. Hi, everybody. And once again, my name is Maya. I'm primarily an actress here in Malaysia, Singapore, and Brunei. And I suppose I have taken the responsibility of pushing the public relations angle of conservation and sustainability.
Thank you, Maya. Thanks very much for joining us. And apologies for forgetting it's International Women's Day. Holy smokes. Next up, please.
We could go to Glen, who kind of represents in the green and industry in terms of forestry. And green and blue together. This is one planet. So over to you, Glen.
Thank you, Glen. Over to you, sir.
Hi, everybody. My name is Glen MacNair. I lead up the forest solutions here in Sabah. I've been here for 11 years, and we just develop forests over degraded areas. So I'm very privileged to be here too. As far as he said, I'm very happy to be part of it. And yeah.
Thank you, Glenn. Thanks very much for joining us. And next up,
Jeff, how about you, Jeff? Give us a Jeff.
Thank you,
is
Jeffrey.
running this project. He's Senior Project Director for Water's Life. And you're still on mute, Jeff. Still on mute.
Okay. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Jeffrey Tsang, the Senior Project Director of Blue Hope. I am a diver too, active in tourism and also marine conservation. As a diver, I am deeply understand that how much our Mother Earth is being hurt and how much help in need. So that's why I'm here. Thank you.
Jeffrey, excellent. Thank you very much, sir. Very nice to have you. So now it must be Monica, is that right?
I was going to go next, or you go first.
Okay.
You go, Monica. You go, Monica.
Yeah, I'm a scuba diver as well. I'm a co-founder of Blue Hope, original from bred and born in Borneo. And yeah, we have seen the beautiful things and being destroyed, and now is the time and for all of us connecting the dot and come together to be part of the solution, solving and reducing, eliminate and eradicate all the plastic trash on our planet. Thank you.
Wow, well, thank you very much, everybody. So now for the audience, that's who's joining us today. So we've got quite the panel here, and I only wish we were all together, either at sea or on a beach or even in one of your schools. But as it is, we're international team coming from around the world, and we'll start now with our presentations. And Simon, excuse me, it's the same order, right?
Same order, please. Yes.
Great. So, Fazi, great pleasure to introduce you, sir.
Yes.
And the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you so much, Paul. Hi again, everyone. Greetings from Kota Kinabalu. First of all, allow me to convey warmest regards from Datuk Dr. Mistirine Radin, who unfortunately unable to join us in this session. She wishes us the very best for this program and look forward to seeing the outcome for the students. And the following is her speech. I'm going to read her speech now. Ladies and gentlemen, warm greetings from Kota Kinabalu, Sabah. As you all know, Sabah is a state uniquely blessed with the greatest richness of natural biodiversity. And it is our responsibility to preserve it for the next generation. Hence, it is happy to say that we are borrowing resources that we have today from our children. Ladies and gentlemen, naturally, we seek to achieve the very best in providing education in Sabah, be it curriculum, extra-curriculum, personality, or management and administration as a whole. The greatest challenge faced by this department is arguably stakeholders and parents or customers exponentially increasing expectations due to their awareness and access to information. Today, we are dealing with generations that are well-informed and expect nothing but the best, and rightly so too. From Sabah Education Department point of view, we strive to lift the standard of education in Sabah, and the same goes to provision of utilities in our school throughout the state. Thus, we welcome ideas and assistance that may contribute to achieve our objective and goals. Like the engagement we have with Blue Hope Venture today, I personally hope that this exemplary act shall inspire more people to step forward and contribute to our students. Ladies and gentlemen, to lift education standard in Sabah, the department have outlined strategies that would help to realize the department aspiration for holistic. For your information, we have total of 1,296 schools, including consists of primary and secondary school located in 24 districts. Like Kota Marudu, the one who mentioned just now, MacNair just now mentioned Kota Marudu, that's one of the districts in 24 in Sabah. Through dedication, commitment, and determination, Sabah Education Department aim to provide the best education resources for students with a quality curriculum and full support in many education activities. And of course, not forgetting the importance of environmental and educational program too. We are well aware of the challenges faced by our students and teachers due to their remote location, plus limited communication access, internet, and overall logistics. Also, there's an issue of plastic waste and inability to provide safe and clean drinking water for all schools has been one of our biggest challenges. On that note, we are hugely thankful to Blue Hope and Fonto de Vivo for their kind contribution to our schools. This is the first time a program such as this, coordinated in Sabah by NGO or international body for that matter, in collaboration with this department, aiming to reach out to all schools in the state. Sabah Education Department therefore shall give its full support to this initiative, Blue Hope Water is Life program. I am also delighted to note that the Rethinking Plastic Education and Awareness program with UK Ocean Generation Blue Hope, I hope I got it right, had set up action plan to see this project to be completed by December 2022. I hope that by December 2022, this initiative would benefit our students and would result student access to reliable, safe, and clean drinking water, reducing single-use plastic bottle waste, and eventually being part of the solution by curbing the plastic pollution too, towards Grand Sabah Education Plan Sabah Hebat or Sabah Great. We are looking forward to working with esteemed Blue Hope Sabah team towards helping provide the very best for our students. And finally, on behalf of Sabah Education Department, I wish to express once again my utmost appreciation for this great initiative and kind contribution. I profoundly wish each and every one of you the very best of luck. God bless you all. Thank you so much. So that is the end of the speech from Datuk Dr. Mistirine Radin. Thank you so much.
Ozzy, thank you so much for sharing that with us. And it just goes to show that this is a perfect recipe for success, because we've got the young ones, we've got leadership behind the whole project, we've got initiative, yes, and we've got luckily funding and support coming from all directions.
That's right, Paul. That's right.
And we all love the sea, and we all love smart conservation ideas. So thank you for sharing that top line for us, Fawzi. Very, very good indeed. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Fawzi. Yeah.
Right.
And I'd like now to pass on to David, if that's okay. And David, the floor is yours.
Okay, very sorry about that. Okay, that's a French technology. Okay, yes, thank you very much for giving me the floor. Actually, what happened, as I said, I'm a former humanitarian worker, and about 4 years ago, I called to my colleagues in France, so the NGOs you all know, the Doctors Without Borders, Doctors of the World, the French Red Cross, and all that big people used to intervene during emergency, and we decided together to make a tool that could be applied for emergencies. And that was the aim at the very beginning. And moving on, we realized that NGOs were also using them for schools and clinics. And now, actually, we are discussing. We are more than discussing. Actually, we are working together with a government in South America to provide access to people in rural areas. So we moved from emergency to, I would say, normal life. Rural areas, and then suddenly Simon came into the picture, telling us that our tool would be able to help to reduce plastics in the ocean, and we were super thrilled about that. You know that we imagined something with our tool, and suddenly we see that its use can be much bigger than what we thought at the beginning. Not thinking that what we thought at the beginning was nothing, providing water to people in emergency situation, but now it goes far beyond what we thought, and we are super thrilled about taking part of that, because I've got myself 2 kids, and I don't want my kids to go in the ocean full of plastics, where there will be more plastics than fish. And thank you to Blue Hope to give us this opportunity to work together. Thank you very much.
We might
Great stuff, David, and well said all round. And just so you know, I think we all know that feeling of Simon suddenly popping into our lives. We all know that feeling. It's a great thing, and it looks and feels like action. So, David, thank you so much for that perspective. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce my good friend Joe Ruxton. And Joe, over to you, please.
Thank you, Paul. So my background is conservation, and I ended up working at the BBC on films that showed the oceans as if they were a bit like the picture behind Paul, full of life and very clean. And I felt that we weren't actually telling the truth. So I started to look for a topic to tell the world about, so that they would start to understand that the ocean isn't actually as we were portraying it. I left the BBC, and the topic I chose was plastic, because as somebody who's been diving for 35 years, it was a problem that I could see growing. And I must say, I dived in Sabah, and I just worked it out 31 years ago in Sipadan. It'll still go down as some of the best diving I've ever done. And back then, we weren't constantly seeing plastic in the ocean. So it's something that over the decades I've seen get worse and worse. And when I went to schools, when we started this program, which is now 12 years ago, plastic wasn't on the agenda at all. And I thought that if people thought that we could keep throwing plastic away, and every time you need a drink, you take it out of a plastic bottle and then get rid of it, that things were going to get worse and worse. So with the documentary, which took 8 years to produce, it was something that gave people a chance to actually take part in addressing the problem, because it doesn't matter who you are or where you are, the changes that you make will be ones that you can tell others about. And this is a real ripple effect. And the school children are so powerful in this. They see this straight away. It takes much longer to tell the adults. It takes even longer to persuade the politicians that we need change. But we don't have to wait for that, because the children are our powerful ocean ambassadors in this. Simon, I think you've got the trailer lined up.
Sure, yeah, if we could do that. We've also got David's film, which I'd like to play as well. But let's just play your trailer for A Plastic Ocean. We could cue that now. Thank you.
I remember the first time I saw a blue whale.
Oh, look. Wow.
I followed them since childhood.
What do you think it's from? Is it from a ship?
I could see plastic everywhere. We were in what we thought was a relatively pristine environment. I started to wonder what was happening in oceans elsewhere on the planet. Growing up, my world was the ocean. It's where I feel the most spiritual.
As a freediver, it was the place where I proved myself to myself. Finally, have the opportunity to pay the sea back.
Only a fraction of the plastic that we produce is recycled.
This is never going to degrade. It's got nowhere to go.
This was something that these animals, they were forced to endure because it was man-made and we'd put it into their environment.
The record is 276 pieces of plastic inside of one 90-day-old chick.
If the plastics are in the food chain for the dolphin, they're also in our food chain. Exactly.
Communities are built on these landfill sites. So sweet potatoes, corn, sugarcane, all growing on 40 years of garbage. Do you have anything not wrapped in plastic?
No.
No.
We have to make our life better for our kids' children.
Change is possible. It starts with us.
Thank you, Simon. What we wanted to do at the time was to create this wave of awareness, and the film's now gone into more than 70 countries. And I would say the difference that we've seen is phenomenal, and it's wonderful to know now that the materials are getting into schools all over Malaysia, and obviously that in Sabah that a real tangible solution has come forward. What we're doing now with Ocean Generation is opening up to other ocean issues in line with the United Nations Decade of Ocean Science, which begins in May, because there's so much more that we need to address. And we've learned that it's the young people that create this massive wave, and we're calling them wave makers, anybody who gets involved with ocean generation. And it's because we, as a generation on this planet, we're the first generation that's had to address ocean issues, and we're actually the last one that can do anything about it. So whatever age you are, this is our time to turn things around. So we do this through storytelling, through our films, but everything is based on science. And there's an awful lot more that we need to address. We're not stopping the work on plastic. We started a plastic intelligent framework, which we're using with businesses, and all of it comes under an ocean intelligence banner. The film that you're going to see next actually talks about the importance of the ocean. And it wasn't until I studied marine science that I actually realized just how connected we are. When we were learning about biology, we were told that the forests are responsible for providing our oxygen and absorbing our CO2, and absolutely they are, but they're not the only lungs on the planet. And in fact, the ocean takes care of 50% of that oxygen. So it's so important that we understand that the ocean is literally our life support system, as Sir David, I know, is very eloquently going to put in the next film, and obviously beautifully narrated by Karin. I'm hoping you're going to line that up now, Simon, because I've stopped talking.
Yes, let's play the next film. Sorry, Alphonse, let's do this. So this is the Malay version that Maya has narrated for the 3-part series. And it's called Our Ocean. But it's in Malay, so there's a Lautan Kita.
The importance of the oceans. They provide us with more than half the oxygen we need. Every second breath you take comes from the oceans. They absorb much of the carbon dioxide we produce. They are an important source of protein for billions of people on the planet. Every drop of water, indeed everything we drink, has come from the oceans. The ocean is our life support system. If that system becomes dysfunctional, then all living things on this planet will suffer.
Bila anda lihat bumi dari angkasa, anda akan tahu kenapa ia dipanggil planet biru. 71% permukaan bumi diliputi oleh lautan, dan lautan amat penting untuk semua makhluk hidup. Tarik nafas 2 kali. Oksigen yang anda sedut dalam salah satu nafas itu datang dari lautan, kerana lebih separuh daripada oksigen bumi dihasilkan di lautan. Ini disebabkan oleh organisma mikroskopik yang dikenali sebagai fitoplankton. Setiap hari berbilion tumbuhan kecil ini, alga dan bakteria hasilkan oksigen melalui fotosintesis dan melepaskannya ke atmosfera. Fitoplankton juga menyerap karbon dioksida yang membantu mengatur iklim kita. Mereka adalah asas kepada jaringan makanan laut, sumber makanan kepada semua, dari sekecil zooplankton sehingga sebesar ikan paus. Mereka mungkin antara organisma terkecil di lautan, tetapi fitoplankton menggalas salah satu tugas terbesar di planet ini. Kehidupan bermula di lautan lebih 3 bilion tahun yang lalu. Hari ini, jutaan spesies tinggal di sana. Ianya biodiversity yang luar biasa, dihubungkan oleh rantaian makanan pemangsa yang mengagumkan dan hubungan yang saling berkait. Jaringan makanan di laut tidak terhad pada persekitaran marin. Hidupan liar pesisir pantai dan berbilion manusia di planet ini juga bergantung padanya sebagai sumber makanan yang penting. Bagi sebilangan negara membangun di dunia, lautan membekalkan sumber protein yang utama. Ramai orang menganggap lautan adalah tempat yang istimewa. Kita mencari laut untuk hobi dan percutian kita. untuk berehat, untuk bermain dan terukainya. Kita tertarik kepada keindahan dan kehebatannya. Ramai orang sedar dengan hanya duduk dan pandang ke lautan boleh buat mereka rasa lebih segar. Ia menenangkan dan menambah semangat kita. Ia mengingatkan bahawa kita hidup di dunia yang indah. Tahukah anda, tiada air baru dihasilkan di bumi? Jumlah air yang sama berkitar sentiasa, menyejat dari lautan hingga membentuk awan. Hujan yang turun dari awan sebagai air tawar akan kembali lagi ke lautan. Kitaran ini adalah gelung tertutup yang telah wujud berbilion tahun lamanya. Kebanyakan haiwan dan tumbuhan perlu air untuk hidup. Tanpa air tawar yang disediakan oleh lautan, kehidupan di darat tidak akan mampu untuk wujud, termasuklah manusia. 60% dari badan kita adalah air. Air yang datang dari lautan. Air adalah kehidupan. Kesejahteraan lautan amat penting untuk hidupan di bumi. Tanpa persekitaran marin yang sihat, kita tidak akan ada planet yang sihat. Dan itu akan menjejaskan kita semua. Menjaga kesihatan laut kita adalah cabaran penting bagi generasi kita. Kita semua perlu melibatkan diri untuk diri kita, rakan dan keluarga kita. Dan untuk setiap makhluk hidup yang berkongsi planet ini dengan kita.
Wow, great stuff. Thank you so much, Joe, for bringing that to us.
As always.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. I mean, I've seen it, a few times, but there's something so powerful about having that, particularly Maya, with you narrating it. There's a bit more sense of magic and poetry about it coming with your voiceover. So thank you very much. And now, Maya, if I can turn to you, the floor is yours.
Okay. Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I would have to say that it is probably one of the greatest honors in my career that I can sort of have a card now to say I semi-worked with David Attenborough. I did. So thank you very much for having chosen me to represent the Malay, the local language. I'm very honored as well in that I think I have come to a stage where my voice for the environment is starting to resonate quite strongly now, especially younger kids and university students, with my sort of perseverance. And I've been pushing for conservation and sustainability for at least 15 years. And it's really nice to see that my fan base or the general population in Malaysia, Brunei, Singapore, are really starting to connect my name with the drive, the conservation issue. And it's really great. I say in the last 2 months that I've been asked to speak about the topic of environment to at least 4 or 5 major universities. And the response is always fantastic, very positive, very eager to learn. I ask them to send me their questions prior, and it's always a massive long list that I have to vet myself and decide what subjects should be addressed first. I would, sometimes it's a little bit, yes, I try to stay positive. I try to push the students. I try to remind them that environment in general it doesn't matter what career path you choose. Whatever career path you choose, there's always going to be an angle. There's always going to be a place where you can direct the importance of sustainability, conservation. And in regards more specifically to plastic, I don't want to be negative here, but I'm really not quite sure with the enormous population growth, the worldwide population growth, that we can change a sort of that culture, that behavior pattern of throwing away. So of course it was perfectly fine 100 years ago to throw away because everything was biodegradable. And today you go to any supermarket, 7-Eleven, and you'll be hard pressed to find something, as I've seen in the video, that is not wrapped up in plastic or bottled in plastic or whatnot. And I just feel like we may have to push more for technological innovations so that we can go skip straight. I spoke to a person in Indonesia who I met 3 years ago who spent a lot of his own personal money, and luckily for him, he comes from a good family, who started looking into seaweed innovations, seaweed plastic replacements. I was very excited about that with him 3 years ago when I went to see him. And I've just contacted him 3 days ago to find out what progress there has been made. And I'm just sort of a little bit perplexed as to why scientists have not. We've now developed a great, wonderful, the electric cars and whatnot, but how can we still ignore the issue of plastic and not push for more innovations to finally we need to replace it somehow soon. We can't keep going like this. And it's too late for us now to try and collect the plastic that is in the ocean. Of course, I do a lot of collection sort of projects with communities, local communities in Terengganu, in Penang, in Sabah, of course, in Labuan. We've also done, but I try and keep the morale up, but I do know that once the tide comes back in, we're gonna be all that is, what we did today, tomorrow it's just gonna get washed up again by whatever else is out there. Okay, I'll keep on going for as long as I can, and it's a real pleasure to be in the company of you amazing people, and I do hope that we can continue working together. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maya. Thanks very much for your views there. And of course, you're right. It's an enormous challenge. It's a massive problem. But for all of us here and the panelists there, that's a green light. That's a green light for action. That's all we need to make it happen. Is the bigger the problem, we're the people to help fix it with your help. So thanks very much indeed. And now I'd like to pass over to Glen, if I may. Glen, making it green, making it blue. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you for those amazing videos from Joe and Maya. Yeah, we basically, as you say, having Simon come into your life. This was a part of what you mentioned earlier, with the blue being 50% of the oxygen, and the green obviously being the other half. So we need to meet and make sure we're working together for the whole, to bring the whole picture together. And so in Sabah, essentially, I've been here 24 years. We're going through a very exciting time now, with the Sabah government really focusing on industrial tree plantations as being an economic savior at this point, which is sustainable. We've got a very, very professional and well thought out framework in Sabah that's run by the Forest Department, and it's headed up by an excellent leader called, his name is Fred Coogan at the moment. He's an excellent lead to this dynamic department, which has now really started to make an impact on Sabah. And we would have about 400,000 hectares, which would be a tiny part of the 2.2 million hectares of Sabah, which is totally protected, which would then, in the next 10 years, if we develop that area well, which we intend to do, not myself, but the whole industry, we would then produce 8 million tons or 8 million cubic meters a year. And that would produce about 15% of the GDP of Sabah, would increase by about 15% of the GDP. But we need a massive amount of investment to do that. And why I'm here today is because we are rurally situated. Obviously, we are developing infrastructure, and we have a huge amount of communities within and around our areas. And why I'm part of this today is we are going to be putting in this Water of Life projects into the communities and the schools around our area. But to do this, we need to have everybody involved. And so I'm hoping the rest of the SFMLA members, as well as the guys that are doing informal plantations to come on board with it. But I think it's very important that we drive this economically, which is the conservation of the forest as a whole. We are not going to be able to conserve these forests if we don't have an alternative, a wood alternative. And a tsunami, which is 8 million cubic meters a year being produced, will then retool the downstream industry. And so economically, it will be unviable or less economically rational to take out rainforest wood because it's not homogeneous. It's small, it's big, it's resin, it's got latex. And so you'd go to a homogeneous supply of wood and on a scale that would allow the entire Sabah then to industrialize and innovate. And you'd have tremendous products coming out, innovative products out of wood, which would then not only have a primary downstream processing ability, but you'd go to secondary and final products coming out of Sabah. And we would become a niche market to quality wood products rather than what we are now, which up to now has essentially been the export of round logs, which we would like to obviously move away from, particularly as a state. So that's in a nutshell. It's very hard to push everything, the entire story in 5 minutes, but I'm trying very hard to sort of like summarize it. But essentially, a very exciting time, and I really appreciate where the Sabah government is moving towards, and it's also in a large part to the hard work done by the Sabah Economic Advisory Council, which has become a very, very large part of the last 3 months of directing the Sabah economics direction of Sabah. And so, yeah, that's from me. Thank you very much for including me, and I really hope that we can work together to create this incredible future for Sabah.
Glen, thank you very much, sir. It's a great reminder, you know, for us not just to focus on the ocean. I mean, you're looking at a bunch of divers here probably, and we're thinking about water and the sea and water we drink, and of course plastic. But it's brilliant to get that lovely reminder about the economy, oceans, the way it all fits together with the drivers to make this work. So, Glen, that couldn't be better. Well timed. Indeed, and thank you very much, sir. So now it gives me great pleasure to reintroduce Jeffrey. And Jeffrey, the floor is yours, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Actually, thank you. I have nothing much to say here, but just thank you to everyone to make this happen. And as a Sabahan, I really want to thank every one of you. Thank you.
Great stuff, Jeffrey. It's terrific to have you along with us on this, and of course, you know, we'll be following your lead in so many ways, you know.
I have studied about it, and I think it's not an easy work to do. And I was told it's some of the school in really remote area, and we have to hike maybe about 8 hours into the school, and then another work hours, 8 hours to come out. I'm not sure I'm that fit to do it or not, but I will do my best.
Jeffrey, thank you so much.
Yeah,
really great.
Yeah, I'm great that the student in Sabah are going to have a very good quality of water to drink. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Really appreciate your insights. Thank you so much. And now, if I may, I'll hand over to Monica. Monica Chin, I'm so pleased you're back healthy and fit and with us today. So over to you.
Hi everyone. Okay, from my side, I just you know, because I've been to many scuba dive expo around Asia. So, and then of course we'll never miss to visit the school, and I really hope that Water is Life project we can roll out as soon as possible with the international partner and a funder to help us to speed up the work, so that all our school, 1,296 school in Sabah, the children has clean drinking water, like just press the button, put your cups, fill up the cups and drink it. Immediately can drink it. So that's what my dream, my wish to all the children and the generation in Sabah, compared to Australia, New Zealand, all this Singapore, this kind of very developed city. So yeah, it's like Jeffrey said, it's a huge challenge for us to complete 1,296 schools around Sabah, with the challenge of different geographical of landscape, logistic, hill, river, stream, ocean, island. So all this we can encounter real soon. So I'm sure with international full support and everyone's support from around the world, all the viewers who want to contribute, you are welcome. And I'm sure we can speed it up and complete our mission, Water is Life, for all the schools in Sabah. Thank you. I'm ready. Bring it on.
Exactly. And you can't go wrong. I mean, this is a magic mix. I think this is a magic formula, you know, with the
we
schools
can't
work, with
we
with
can't
the
do it
sense of the young
alone.
ones.
Yeah, we can't do it alone. We need more partners. We need more people who believe in us, who believe in this project, to come together and complete the mission. Yeah,
it's a terrific project, and you can't go wrong with this initiative, because these young ones that we keep speaking about are soon going to be consumers, and then they're going to be voters and business leaders and political and community and global influencers and political leaders. And it won't be long and they'll be making some very smart decisions and driving decision making globally, all because of initiatives just exactly like this. So thank you very much, Monica. And now, of course, where's Simon, the man who pops into all of our lives? There he is. Simon, over to you.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. So just briefly, I think, you know, this is for Sabah Plastic Neutral to launch today. You know, there's lots of talking, lots of things we're going to do. Actions speak louder than the words. Water being life and being so important. When we started engaging with all the teachers, all the principals, we heard that in fact no one had access. We were saying, look, can we stop plastic bags? They were trying. What about water bottles? Well, no, we can't do that because we don't have clean drinking water. It's like, that was quite shocking for us, and to find that every school just did not have it. So, and that is a microcosm of the planet today. We're totally addicted to it. We're totally hobbled by plastic, and we've got to break that system. So we said, let's go to the pain point and sort the water out. Let's crack the water system. Let's deliver clean drinking water, and then we can go back to the principals and say, hey, now you can stop taking plastic bottles, right? So plastic is the gateway issue. So it's actually a water security issue. That's the issue. It's a global problem. It's a water security issue. So with that said, I just want to cut back to David's video. It's a 1-minute video, but the magical technologies, innovation, and what we've taken is kind of it's partnerships, and that's what's going to take to create change. Joe's kind of steely determination to create behavior change and education and awareness. You know, that's one thing, but the hardest thing is, how do you get that out to all the schools? So when we started talking to all the schools, we said, right, we want to roll out this thing. When we found out that in fact everyone would have to be drinking plastic bottles as they're watching Joe's series, that for me was abhorrent. I wasn't happy with that. So I said, okay, let's do the two together. Let's mix the two together, and let's deliver this behavior change at the same time as delivering clean drinking water. So we've got a kind of magical mix. With that said, if we could just play the video, which is showcasing David's kind of innovation and what they've done really in the really worst hit areas of water-on located places like Haiti. And I think you'll see what the trigger, why this is such a trigger. If we could just play the Fonto de Vivo video, that would be great. Alphonse, please.
I am David Monnier, Fonto de Vivo's co-founder and president. It took us over 2 years of R&D to produce the Oreza, a durable family water purifier. The ORESA is meant to fit the needs of INGOs, local organizations and governments willing to provide access to safe drinking water in rural areas and during emergencies responses. Together with the technical support of some of the main French INGOs, we designed a long-lasting autonomous purifier. Long-lasting because made with top-quality French ultrafiltration membranes, but also because of a patented built-in backwash system. Our main goals are to enable users to be self-sufficient water-wise, to offer a nexus solution able to cover access to drinking water from emergency to development, and to improve the social impact of humanitarian operations. The ORESA is made in France, repairable and recyclable. It is made to last years without need of energy and spare parts in order to limit its environmental impact. We want to massively deploy the ORESA all over the world in order to support the UNDG objectives aiming at providing a universal access to potable water before 2030.
¿Lo puedes tomar? Pruébalo a ver.
So I think, you know, that was that magical moment when you can turn something. Water is life is so important, and I think, you know, it's a combination. It shows what you can do with a partnership, and really I'm very excited because I think what we can do here in Sabah, we can roll out across the whole region. Going back to a place like Timor-Leste, where a third of the country has no access to any water. So you've got a huge problem, and so water is a huge issue. And one of David's missions is to kind of deliver water to everyone by the end of 2030. So really this whole thing, it's really a mixture of like-minded people and sort of innovation and communication. All these things need to happen as partnerships, which is going to create the change and get us out of this big rut that we've got, and working with people like Glen, who are driving it from a commercial perspective. We've all got to work together, and that's what it's the ultimate monumental collaboration across UNESCO Ocean Decade. And that's all from me. I think from here, Water's Life is now officially launched. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Simon, and everybody. And we all need that touch point, don't we? You know, what is it that's going to inspire smart decision making, and make for a big result, say in 10 years, David. And of course, the way to do that is to find that touch point that resonates with everybody. So what better than clean drinking water for children? It couldn't be better. It's just absolutely brilliant. So thanks very much for joining us, and the audience, thanks very much for joining us all today. And please send in any comments or questions that you may have, and please do follow the activities online. So thanks very much to the panelists and everybody.
Thank you, David.
Hope to see you very soon.
Thank you, Maya. Thank you for your
Thanks,
time.
Maya. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Joe.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Buzzy. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Welcome back. See you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks, Glenn.
Thank you.